Today's video I will show you how to use a camera to capture photo and display that photo inside an image view inside for your Flutter application without a third-party library. So for Android we will be using CameraX, and for iOS we will be using the preview view to embed camera inside your application. Now for Android you can use register for activity result and open camera using that, but that will open a separate camera app. It won't embed camera inside your application. Similarly for iOS you can use something called picker controller, I think image picker controller, but again that will open the camera app and it won't embed camera inside your application. The reason embedding camera inside your application using CameraX or the preview view is important because you can then customize the image or get a live feed of data however you want. So you have lot of options, and you can customize your code however you want or customize the photo or video however you want. That is not possible if you try to open the default camera app. So yeah, um, that's what we will be doing. So I have created a Flutter application and go to main.dart, and here you can see I have created my homepage widget, and inside that first I am checking for camera permission. So I have created a method channel for camera permission. This is specifically for Android because for Android we have to request the camera permission. In iOS as well we require the camera permission. We don't have to write extra bit of code. That is handled by iOS itself. So here you can see in init I'm checking for get camera permission, and here I'm calling get camera permission method. So whatever you have defined it over on the Dart side, same has to be defined on the native side as well. And if I'm getting the camera permission, I'm setting this value as true, otherwise I'm logging out the error messages. Next what I'm doing is that if the permission is granted, so here you can see for iOS it is always true. Okay, so once the permission is granted, I'm displaying the camera view, otherwise I'm displaying a text saying give camera permission. Next I have created this custom widget, my camera view.dart, and here I have created a method channel called camera view. So there are two channels. One is this camera view and another one is this image view. So first what we will do is that we will open the camera view, we will capture a photo, and once that photo is captured we will then display the image view. Okay, so here you can see I have taken an image URL variable. Initially it is empty, and I have taken a creation params string as well. So here this is boilerplate code for displaying Android view and UI kit view like native views, but here you can see if the image URL is empty, which is initially, we are displaying the camera, but once we get the URL for the photo captured image, we are displaying the image view. Again, you can't use the default image.asset or image.file from Flutter. I have tried that and it results into an error. That's why I have to use the native image view itself. Next, this is like boilerplate code which you have to write. Now I am getting a callback on platform created, and I have calling this separate method handle method. So once a photo is captured, we are sending the image URL from native side to the Dart side. So here we are capturing that image URL and setting it inside our map, and while sending it to the my image view native widget, we will be sending it over here. So this image URL will be sent to the native side again. So for Android, here you can see the output is something like this, and I was trying something like this but it didn't work. If you know a better solution, do let me know. So I will first go to Android, go to app, src main, go to build.gradle, this build.gradle, and here you have to first change the min SDK version to 23. Next you have to add this CameraX libraries, as well as I am also adding this constraint layout library because while showing the camera I also want to show a capture button. That's why I have included constraint layout. You can use linear layout or relative layout as well. Yeah, constraint layout is just easier to deal with. That's why I'm using constraint layout, and I'm also using coil So this is a library which helps us to load images into imageview by their image URL. It makes us it makes our life easy. Next, into android manifest.xml, we will add this uses feature for camera, and we will add camera permission as well as write external storage. And write external storage is only applicable till HDK version 28, and about 28 we don't require any permission as such. And next we will go to Kotlin. First go to mainActivity.kt, and here this is the boilerplate code for checking camera permission as well as write external storage permission. And here I have created a method result as well, and first we have to override on request permission result. So here we are passing whether the permission was granted or whether it was not granted, and this is a boilerplate method which I have defined to check whether all permissions have been granted or not. Next, you have to override the configure flutter channel flutter engine method, and first we are declaring our camera view. So this should be whatever you have defined it on the dart side, and we are creating a my camera view factory class. Next, same for my image view, and we are creating my image view factory class. And now for the camera permission, here you can see I am assigning the same method channel, and this is the same method name which is defined it on the dart side. And once this is called from dart side, we are requesting for the permission, which indirectly calls this and sends the result back. So once we get the result back, we will go into the camera class. So here camera view factory.kt. So this is boilerplate code which you have to write. So yeah, this I have just copy pasted from the documentation. And here camera view.kt. Now to be honest with you, I don't understand much of it, like even I have copy pasted it from the code sample. So yeah, if you want, you can just copy paste it. So here you can see I am defining a constraint layout. This is the preview view for our camera, and this is the button, and this is the file format in which this is the file format in which the image will be stored. Here we are defining our layout params for our constraint layout, as well as we have to define constraint set for our constraint layout. And then I am constraining our preview view as well as our button at the bottom. And in buttons click listener, we are calling tag photo, and here we are setting up the camera. So we are calling start camera as well as camera executor, and this is the logic for taking photo. Next we are returning the constraint layout, and if once disposed is called, we are shutting down our camera so we don't have any memory leaks. And this is the code for starting our camera. So yeah, and now next for image view. So here again this is same as my camera view factory, only the class names has been changed. And here we are returning the my image view, and inside my image view .kt, I have just defined an image view. And here you can see I am calling the load method of the coil library, and whatever image URL has been passed from the dart side, we are loading it on the native side. You might see the image small, so you might want to refactor the width and height accordingly. Next for iOS, go to runner, go to app-delegate.swift, and first you have to define this. So this is for camera view, and this is for image view, and I have defined camera view native factory and my image view native factory. And also inside your info.plist, you have to add the camera permission, photo library add usage description, as well as photo library usage description. And if you check camera view native factory, this is boilerplate code which you have to write for every native view. But I am just returning over camera view native view. Similarly for my image view native view factory, I am define the same thing as previously, but here we are returning my image view native view. Next, inside camera view native view, again I don't understand much of it, but because I have copy pasted most of the code from the documentation itself, but you have to include these three. And here we are defining our UI view, preview view, a box view, and a button to capture the photo. So this is boilerplate code which you have to write, as well as the this is a channel to send back whatever image URL which you are capturing. In iOS case, we won't be capturing an image URL, but we will be capturing a local identifier, so we will be sending that. So here you can see we are creating a view, here we are creating a button, here we are setting a AV capture, and once the button is clicked, we are calling capture photo, which automatically calls photo output, and we are saving the photo to our Photos app by using ph photo library. And here you can see that even though this is defined as URL, this is actually a local identifier. It is a poor naming on my part, sorry about that. And here we are requesting authorization as well for the first time, and if it is already authorized, we are calling the same bit of code over here as well as over here. And here we are stopping the camera once photo is captured, setting up AV capture, and this is how we begin our session. And also we have defined an extension for UI image, which we are saving to photo library. And here you can see that I am actually passing the local ID back. So once you get the local ID, we are sending the local ID back from Dart to native side. So here you can see that we are calling save to photo library, right? So here you get this local ID over here. This is not a image URL, but the local ID. So once you get the local ID, I will go to my image view, native view, and here we get this local ID from Dart to native side, and here we are creating a native view. And once we get the image, the local ID, again you can name it as local ID. This is not an image URL. And then we are creating an image view. We are doing NS layout constraints and setting that image view to image. Now to get the actual image from your local ID, this is the boilerplate code which you have to write. Okay, and next I will just show you the output. So this is for Android. So I am just capturing the photo over here, and here you can see the photo has been captured, and same for iOS as well. So here you can see the photo has been captured.